What is going on, Arizona sports fan family? How are we doing out here today on this Tuesday morning, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in, come one, come all. We are here to talk about the Arizona Cardinals, our favorite team, and obviously, this is the second day of the Combine, and we got Monti Ossenfort and the Arizona Cardinals at the Combine. And we got a lot to discuss today, ladies. We got a lot to talk about today. Huge shout out to the people that are currently in the chat. We got Trash Boat. We got Otis. We got Dark, the same damn bub. We also got Michael. What's up, y'all? Appreciate y'all for tuning in. We got a lot to dive into today. We got a lot to talk about. Monti Ossenfort was in the media sessions where he was asked a lot of good questions that we're going to be diving into here today. We also are implementing shorts now. I'm not sure if you guys know what that is, but YouTube Shorts has been pretty good to us so far. It's a first day using it. I think we got another YouTube short today, so definitely check that out. And we did also release another video earlier today talking about who should we re-sign and who should we let walk. So definitely check those out if you guys have time. But let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about Monti Ossenfort here in the NFL Combine. And then we'll talk about Kyler Murray's, I guess, future with the Arizona Cardinals. Because if you guys don't know, there's a lot of panic within the social media realm, and there's some people out there like myself, right, kind of a little worried because a lot of us have a little bit of PTSD from this whole situation that we've been dealing with, right? The whole Josh is our guy from Cliff Kingsbury, and of course within the last couple days we ended up getting the Arizona Cardinals social media team very I don't want to say deja vu, but very similar to what they kind of did to Josh Rosen. Now, I'm not saying they're doing this, right? I'm not saying they're doing this now, but like, it's just weird, man. It's just really weird. So we'll dive into that a little later on. But I think the most important thing we want to talk about is obviously the Combine, different stuff that's kind of come about pertaining to the Arizona Cardinals and where we are at right now, because there's a lot of questions to be answered. And Monti Ossenfort is obviously the guy. Now, let's dive into here real quick pertaining to Marvin Harrison Jr., I believe he is actually showing up to the Combine today, if I'm not mistaken. I saw some reports out there saying that he is at the Combine today, but he wasn't there yesterday. But he's not going to be participating in any of the drills. There's a lot of these prospects that are not participating in these drills, right? I think Caleb Williams, most likely going to be number one quarterback in most people's draft boards. I think Jaden Daniels is no longer going to be doing all the drills. Now, I think there was a report that came out that said Drake May most likely won't be doing any drills. A lot of the wide receivers that people have their eyes on in the top five, which is either your Malik Neighbors or your Marvin Harrison Jr., won't be doing any of the drills either. So we did hear that Roma Dunze will be active. We're not sure if he's going to be doing everything, but like, it's kind of to the point where like I'm not even sure if like watching this year's Combine is going to be really worth it. But obviously the question was asked there to Monti Ossenfort, our general manager, and the fact that how does he feel about Marvin Harrison Jr., right? The generational talented wide receiver coming out of this year's draft. And this is the report coming here from Bob McNanaman. And he says this: Arizona Cardinals general manager on Marvin Harrison Jr. today at the scouting combine. Marvin is a great player. We've done a lot of work on Marvin and excited to continue to work him through the process here in the next couple months. So obviously this is the time here where the combine is, although there's going to be some players and prospects not participating in the combine. Another great thing about the combine is the fact that the Arizona Cardinals can interview a lot of these prospects, right? And I think that's kind of where they're going to be getting their for sure answers, because they want to get down to the person, right? Who the person is specifically. And I think that's hearing that we're doing homework on Marvin Harrison Jr. is only obviously getting people really excited about it, right? At the end of the day, that's kind of what the creme de la creme is, what people want at the end of the day. So super excited about that. Homework is done, and that's all we can really say. Hopefully he's there at 4, and hopefully we don't trade back, but we'll have to kind of wait and see. TBD. Also, the question was asked here pertaining to Zaven Collins. This is another big topic out there as well. Another Steve Keim guy, and it almost kind of seems like Monti Ossenfort really does like Zaven Collins. But as of right now, he says we still got some time on that, and we're going to continue to figure out what they're going to do basically with the whole Zaven Collins situation. Now, to me, I don't know. I feel like Zaven Collins is kind of seeming to be like that one odd man out. In the end of the day, I don't know if they're going to be picking up his 5th-year option, right? Or if he's going to be another linebacker that's going to be fall victim to, just similar to what we ended up having with Isaiah Simmons. But like, I kind of feel like it's kind of the same treatment. I'm not sure if you guys are getting that same vibe with Isaiah Simmons. Or Zaven Collins, like what happened with Isaiah Simmons. It's like, well, we wanted him for the middle linebacker, but then we moved him over to edge. And then, like, it doesn't really seem like he's got a real home. Now, he's had some flashes here and there, but not to the point where it was, okay, this is your primary spot, right? This is going to be the spot that you're going to be living in forever. Like, we still have questions in the edge, right? We still have it. And being that Zaven Collins is a first-round pick, I don't know, man. It's going to be a very, very interesting storyline to figure out what the Cardinals are going to do. Right now, I don't know if they are. I don't know if they're going to pick up Zaven Collins' 5th-year option, but honestly, the guy that's going to have the deciding factor is going to be obviously Monti Ossenfort in that front office. So that is also a big topic out there. They also asked the question of DJ Humphries, right? Well, what's his status? Right now, DJ Humphries, in the idea that is he going to be available in the beginning of the season? There's a lot of gray area. There's a lot of gray area right now with DJ Humphries. I don't think he even knows, right? But all he knows that he loves DJ Humphries and that he's rehabbing to try to get back onto the field as soon as he possibly can. That is pretty much what he provided us for DJ Humphries. And then I think the question was also asked would it be smart to move Paris Johnson to left? And then he didn't want to kind of talk about that as well. But that's kind of an idea that was floating around in my head with the idea of, I feel like the Cardinals should do that, move Paris Johnson to the left because he has played left in his college career. I feel like it would be smart, but right now it doesn't seem like Monti Ossenfort wants to kind of humor it right now. He doesn't want to think about that, but he does say that there is some progress with DJ Humphries. It's just right now it's kind of TBD. Now, one of the biggest things I want to talk about here, the biggest thing I want to talk about is the fact that Monti Ossenfort was asked today about the idea of, has anybody called about our 4th-round pick? Now, I want to go ahead and play a video for you guys here because I feel like it's going to be much better hearing from his mouth compared to my mouth because I'm very, very bad at, kind of quoting people. So let's go ahead and hear it from his mouth himself and kind of get down to exactly what Monti Ossenfort said about if he received any calls about the 4th-round pick. So let's go ahead and dive into that.
I'm not. If you guys hear anything, come let me know. So, no, I'm not surprised. No, we're sitting here at the end of February. We got a ways to go on that. I think everybody's still in the middle of their evaluation process. I think there's a lot of unknown right now about, again, somebody asked a question earlier about what's going to happen in front of us. I mean, we can sit here, somebody could say, hey, I think I know what's going to happen, and nobody knows. Nobody knows. So, I think those discussions, Josh, I think those happen more as we get closer to the draft into April. And I think that's what happened last year. We didn't have a lot of discussions over our pick last year at this time. And even if we did, like, they would be so surface level that I don't think I would put any credence into them anyway. So I'm sure those calls will come. And I mean, we're going to make our fair share of calls too. I think last year we proved that we were more than willing to move up, to move back, to stay put and pick. So, I think those discussions will come a little bit further down the road.
So real quick, huge shout out here to Donnie Duran. I believe that's how you pronounce his name, but basically got that video pertaining to what Monti Ossenfort had to say about the Arizona Cardinals and how, if we received any calls for that 4th overall pick. And right now he pretty much is saying that the fact that the Arizona Cardinals haven't received any calls about it, but like he hasn't really expected it to, right? Like it's crazy because like in my mind, and I think fans' minds as well, we think that it's like all the time, right? Like you're sitting in January or you're sitting in February and your phone rings and you think, oh, it's a perfect opportunity. Somebody's calling for the 4th round pick. I guess it doesn't work like that. No, I guess that, they wait for events like this where all the general managers are actually together to actually get a conversation. Now, phone calls do happen. I'm not saying they don't happen, but I'm just saying that like this is mainly where the seed is planted. So does he expect talks to happen? Yes, he does, but like it's very, very surface level and very, very vague to the point where he doesn't really pay too much attention to them, but he does expect for those calls to start ramping up closer to the NFL draft, which is obviously the end of April. So pretty exciting, right? Pretty exciting here that, the Arizona Cardinals are obviously leaving everything out on the table. And that's definitely something that we talked about here on the channel before, right? Now, I did end up going to that exclusive event that we ended up talking about what he said, and that's exactly the vibe that I got here from Monti Ossenfort as well, where he's leaving everything on the table. Like he truly is. Like if somebody calls and says, hey, do you want to trade back, or do you want to stay pat? Do you want to trade up? I think anything's on the table right now for the Arizona Cardinals, and I think that kind of leaves a level of curiosity for Cardinal fans, but also a level of like, oh man, I what do we go from here, right? Because anything could happen. Anything could happen. Does he expect for those calls to ramp up closer to the NFL draft? He says yes. He does expect those to ramp up because that's exactly what happened last year. So very interesting. Very, very interesting here. Obviously, this is the start here of the combine. It does definitely seem like Monti Ossenfort has been hard at work since the end of Super Bowl and probably earlier than that. So we are kind of in a very, very interesting situation. We also heard from the Chicago Bears as well in terms of their general manager. Is it Ryan Poles? Of course, he's asked the tough questions as well, and it all has to surround around the idea of Justin Fields. And it almost kind of seems like him with the first overall pick himself. He doesn't even know. He doesn't even know like what he is going to do right now, but they all kind of say the same thing where they're going to try to do right by their organizations and put them in the best position available. But right now it's I think anything's on the table. I think anything is on the table here for the Arizona Cardinals. Now, obviously, I think it also depends on who falls, right? I think most fans truly believe that if Marvin Harrison Jr. falls to 4, we will get him. But I don't know. Like, I don't know what Monti Ossenfort is thinking. I truly don't. I truly don't. Because I've seen some mocks that had Caleb Williams go, Jaden Daniels go, and then Marvin Harrison Jr. go. And then when the Cardinals are picking, they got Drake May, right? So that's an opportunity for the Cardinals to trade back for somebody to get Drake May. But like, it's so many things, man. There's so many options. There's so many mock drafts out here that we truly don't know. And Monti Ossenfort actually said it himself in the beginning of this interview. He said the same thing. He said that you probably might have somebody say, oh, look, well, this is what's going to happen in the NFL draft, right here. This is to a T. But like nobody knows. Nobody knows. You can ask the most smartest NFL GM out there, the most smartest NFL owner. Nobody knows at the end of the day. So it's very, very, I wouldn't say concerning, but like I don't know, eye-opening, I guess is the best way to describe it. Like anything's on the table, man. Anything's on the table. And we made a video about this yesterday with the whole rumors pertaining to the Arizona Cardinals doing extensive work on Bo Nix. Man, we're going to talk about that a little later on because that video went pretty crazy, and I think a lot of people are kind of feeling that whole same situation because, man, social media is bigger than people think. It's bigger than people think. I know that people that are not entrapped in social media, they don't think it's that big of a deal. But if the Cardinals are doing things like this, that means that they're trying to make sure that like people are fully aware that this is our franchise quarterback. Now, I'm not saying that this is like a secret message, right? I think they're just trying to, I guess, show love, right? They're trying to show love here to the franchise quarterback and Kyler Murray. But I do think that it all had to kind of deal with that whole storyline pertaining to what, that whole rumor that started about Bo Nix, right? The Cardinals are doing extensive work. So, yeah, man, it's all up in the table right now. It's all up in the table. And I think Monti Ossenfort right now, we're all kind of in a position where we just want him to cook. We just want him to be, we just want him to put us in a great position available because we haven't had a general manager or a different general manager than Steve Keim. What like this is Monty's second year, but like Steve Keim was here for 10 years. You know what I mean? Steve Keim was here for 10 years. So like it's hard to imagine what somebody else is thinking, because even Steve Keim was a freaking wild card, man. He did anything. Steve Keim did things that I don't think anybody would have done. I'm not even gonna lie. This man always tried to be the smartest guy in the room when he probably outsmarted himself at the end of the day. So we're all hoping that Monti Ossenfort is going to take a different approach, and hopefully, right, fingers crossed, we take generational talents, or if we do trade back, hopefully puts us in the best position available for the future. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see what happens. But the combine is already underway. I believe we're actually going to start getting the workouts and the drills coming in. I believe it's Thursday. So in a couple days, we're going to be seeing the drills. And I think that's going to take you either through Sunday or through Monday of the following week. So super exciting here. We got a lot of things to talk about. We'll be looking at prospects here. But it sucks because Malik, as well as Marvin, won't be doing any of the drills. A lot of the quarterbacks won't be doing the drills. And I think Roma Dunze will be, but I'm not 100% sure he's going to be doing a lot of it. So in the grand scheme of things, we'll see. We'll see what happens, but it's just a waiting game at this very moment. So let's switch topics here real quick. And if you guys haven't read the title of this video, obviously Monti Ossenfort at the 2024 NFL Combine, but not just that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about the future of the Arizona Cardinals, and I guess just Kyler Murray in general, right? Because with what we've been hearing, right, in terms of like the rumors that we've been hearing, it's getting loud, y'all. It's getting really, really loud. And I'm not sure that like it's to the point where like the Cardinals are. I don't think the Arizona Cardinals organization is worried. I think the fan base is worried, right? And it all has to kind of deal with this, right? I think it started with the whole big the Bo Nix rumor, but you know, we're all kind of worried about this, right? Josh Rosen is our guy, right? Said from Cliff Kingsbury, literally. And then weeks later or a month later, boom, traded away. And then got a new quarterback in Kyler Murray. And right now we have the social media team for the Arizona Cardinals really, really working overtime on X, formerly known as Twitter, as well as Instagram, where, you know, they're very making it apparent that like saying things like our franchise quarterback or the one, right? Stuff like that, where like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm fully like, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. Honestly, I think I'm just getting a little bit of PTSD. Honestly, I think that's kind of where I'm at right now. Am I a little worried? A little bit. Because I do think that the Arizona Cardinals are fully committed to Kyler in 2024. I do think that they are. I just don't know what happens in the future. I just don't know what happens in 2025. Like that's, and I know I shouldn't be worried about that. I know I shouldn't be. I just don't know. I don't know. Right? We've heard Monti Ossenfort, I believe today as well, talk about so many great things about Kyler Murray, right? And pertaining to, you know, a lot of good things that he's done in the sample size that we've seen him. And then coming back from that big drastic injury, in the grand scheme of things, I think there's a lot of positives to take away from Kyler Murray. And one thing I think a lot of people aren't really talking about is the maturity level that we've seen from Kyler Murray this year is night and day different, y'all. It's night and day different. And I think, honestly, if we were to give kudos to where kudos is due, the maturity level of Kyler Murray is night and day different from when Cliff Kingsbury was in charge compared to Jonathan Gannon. It's almost like you're looking at a completely different person. It's crazy. It absolutely is. I don't think you will catch Kyler Murray yelling at Cliff. I'm sorry. I don't think you will catch Kyler Murray yelling at Jonathan Gannon. Sorry, let me rephrase that. I do not think you will catch Kyler Murray yelling at Jonathan Gannon. I just don't see it. So a lot of good things have been said about Kyler for 2024, but like 2025 is just so murky, right? And I think it really just depends on what happens this year. We've heard Monty multiple times say, we don't want to be in this position ever again, right? We don't want to be in the position to be picking up 4th overall. We don't want to be in this position. Obviously, nobody wants to be here. Nobody wants to be here. Obviously, in April and March, it's exciting because your team is in the bottom. But like during the season, man, this season was rough, bro. This season was rough to watch. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is probably the least engagement I've seen for Cardinals in a very long time. And it's continued to happen this offseason as well, right? Where people just kind of seem turned off. People just seem turned off that nobody cares anymore, man. We're hearing a lot of the same things over and over again. Michael Bidwell trying to say all these things. You know, I went to that exclusive event with JG and Monti Ossenfort, and they're really trying to make a big push. They're trying to make a big push to get Cardinals in the seats. And I think they notice it as well. People are just turned off. People are just turned off by the Arizona Cardinals in general. So like these next moves need to be correct moves and smart moves at the same time. So I have no problem with Kyler Murray in 2024. I think Kyler Murray is obviously the guy, and I'm excited to see him get better and better. But just 2025 really worries me, right? Obviously, if we're playoff bound in 2024, we're not talking about this, right? We're not talking about this. But like if the Arizona Cardinals miss the playoffs, or we're not even close to playoff contention with the franchise quarterback, where do the Cardinals go then? Because we've said this before, or Monty said this before. He doesn't want to be in the bottom four anymore, right? Nobody wants to be top pick. Nobody does, unless you're looking for a franchise quarterback. So this is interesting. Very, very interesting. With the whole Bo Nix rumor that's been going around, I made a video about it and I read a lot of the comments. A lot of people are like, why are you even entertaining this? Well, because I'm entertaining it because it's a topic to talk about. It truly is, because I think this rumor started with the whole mock draft for the Cardinals, a CBS mock draft, but not just that. Obviously, that post really, really kind of collected and caught fire, and now it kind of opened up some Cardinals fans' eyes and saying, "Whoa, okay, maybe, huh? Okay, maybe that might be a possibility." To me, I don't think it's smart. I don't think it's smart to go Bo Nix with the 27th overall pick, because the Cardinals we're not a team that's a quarterback away to compete. We have so many holes. Regardless if Kyler Murray's the future or not, you need to build this roster. You need to build this roster up. But it definitely got some Cardinals fans' eyes wide open and peeled wide open, right? Saying, okay, I see where you're going there. But I don't know, y'all. I really don't know. Monty said it best. Nobody knows. Nobody knows, y'all. Nobody knows in the end of the day. So we'll see. Let's take it to a few of these comments. We got Daya saying we are just fine with K1 and Tune. I believe the question was also asked pertaining to what are we going to do with the quarterback 2 position. And so far, a lot of good things have been said about Clayton Tune. I get it. Clayton Tune did not look good versus the Browns. But honestly, you put this roster up against the Browns and a rookie quarterback that had really no live reps until this game, you're probably going to see a lot of quarterbacks look as bad as they did, or as bad as he did. So I don't blame Clayton Tune at all. I know I was really, really hyped up about him because I loved him coming out of college. But in the grand scheme of things, this man had no experience, literally was thrown into the fire. And then after that game, we were like, all right, we're getting ramped up for Kyler Murray. So like, it kind of seems like he was thrown to the wolves. But I'm cool with staying with 2 quarterbacks, personally. I am cool with staying with 2 quarterbacks. If the Cardinals do go with the quarterback in the NFL draft, it probably won't be until like late in the draft, right? Just like a Clayton Tune was. If the Cardinals go after a late round quarterback, nobody's going to peel their eyes. Nobody's going to bat their eyes at that. But if the Cardinals go with a quarterback in the top 3 rounds, there's going to get some people talking. I don't see it happening personally, but honestly, anything's on the table, y'all. Anything is on the table at this very moment. So we'll see. Let's take it to the comments. We got somebody in the chat says, this season was terrible. As a season ticket holder, laugh aloud, I wanted to die, but I'm excited for 2024. The last few games were fun to watch. Yeah, and that's the thing. As a season ticket holder, honestly, kudos for showing up to those games, because I almost promise you, I'm serious to ask. I bet there was not a lot of Cardinal fans in the last couple games, or last 2 or 3 games, right? The Cardinals were dead in the water. There was just, all we really had to look forward to were these rookies. All we really had to look forward to was, how are they going to develop, right? That's all we really had. That's all we can hang our hat on at the end of the day. So kudos to any of the season ticket holders to make it through every single one of these games. But I know for a fact, because I've heard it from the organization themselves, that they're making a big push. They're making a huge, gigantic push for the Arizona Cardinals to try to get Cardinal fans back into State Farm Stadium. I've heard it from them themselves that they are making a huge push, and they're trying really, really hard to get, because I just don't think Cardinal fans are really, I don't know. I just think they're turned off. I think they're turned off. Honestly, I think they're turned off. Somebody in the chat says, Dea says he was robbed reps because of Dobbs. Yep. 100%. Yeah. I agree. If Dobbs didn't have a connection with Drew Petzing, we probably wouldn't have brought in Dobbs. But I do think that deep down, and I mean deep down, Drew Petzing and Jonathan Gannon truly thought that they were going to win more with Dobbs. I truly think that they thought that they were going to win more games with Dobbs, and because he's a veteran, he's got experience. They're like, let's get 2 or 3 wins, let's bring our franchise quarterback back, and then win this, and then end the season perfect, right? But no, it didn't work out that way. We got 1 win with Dobbs, and then the Cardinals with Kyler Murray got 3 wins, so obviously ending up in a 4-win season. So, but I agree with you, 100% agree with you. He was definitely robbed for sure, for absolutely sure. Visitor side barely had any Cardinals fans, but home side still had a good number of Cardinals fans. Visitor fans were louder. Ugh. Yeah, it's what it is. I mean, it's going to continue to be like that. And that's the thing too. Like if Michael Bidwell doesn't open his eyes, if this organization doesn't open their eyes to what really people want, like people want to win. That's what it is, right? I mean, you have a lot of Cardinals fans that like are ride or die that they're going to watch regardless, but you also have a big portion of fans that will only appear if you're winning. It's just the truth of the nature. It's the proof in the pudding. The organization that we have, we're not the Cowboys. We're not the Steelers. We're not even the Browns that have a very, very loyal fan base. We're not the 49ers that have a very, very a great fan base that travels well, right? That's not our fan base. It's not what it is. And that's no knock on us. It's just the truth. We got to win. We had back-to-back 4-win seasons. And although we know, right, as Cardinal fans, we know that we were not going to do anything this year because free agency was bleak. We expect a lot of these rookies to come out here and show out and be superstars, right? Kyler Murray was coming back for 8 games. Look, we knew deep down that nothing was going to be accomplished. There's a lot of Cardinals fans that don't listen to anything in the offseason. They just want results. They just want results at the end of the day. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see. I hope Michael Bidwell truly takes this, right, experiment, takes it on the chin and realizes that Cardinal fans want better. Cardinal fans want to win. I want to win. I don't want to be rebuilding anymore. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Somebody in the Diaz says that's about to be me. I don't blame you, bro. I don't blame you, Diaz. I don't blame you, man. I can't imagine another 4-win season for this Arizona Cardinal organization, and how bad this fan base will take that, right? And how bad the fan base will take that. There's only so many moral victories that you can hang on to. To me, I'm expecting to win this year. I'm not saying Super Bowl. I'm not not dumb, right? I'm not saying Super Bowl, but I expect to win this year, right? At least sniff playoffs. So we get into playoffs, that's a bonus. But like, I want to be in contention of playoffs to the very end, to the final 2 games. Can the Cardinals make it to the playoffs? That's what I'm looking for this organization, because we got a franchise quarterback, right? Build some weapons around him and kind of see what happens from there. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Somebody in the chat says we need Marv to revive the fans. Well, that definitely will do it. That definitely will do it. If you draft Marvin Harrison Jr., absolutely, that will do it. I don't think fans will get super excited about Joe Alt. The fans that know the roster know that Joe Alt will definitely make a huge upgrade to our offensive line, or an Olu Fashanu will make a big upgrade for our offensive line. But like, yeah. But yeah, but in the end of the day, Marvin Harrison Jr. will definitely reignite that for sure. Somebody in the chat says, I'm actually very excited about possibility getting Joe Alt. All right. Well, cool. Somebody in the chat says, would you be willing to spend on a big ticket running back? I think that would be a massively add another level to the offense, but we have a lot of holes on D. I don't think the Cardinals will do that, though. Like, that's the thing. Like, if the Cardinals didn't have James Conner, I could humor that. I just don't think the Cardinals will do it. We have James Conner, and James Conner's, I believe, at least top 10 running back in the league. We paid James Conner, and literally the year after, people were like, we're not paying running backs anything. That's crazy. We're not doing that anymore. So like, James Conner got paid just before people were scared to pay running backs, and he's getting paid a good amount of money for running backs these days. So I don't think the Cardinals will do it personally. Would I be happy to get one of those guys? Absolutely. Heck yeah, right? Imagine having Saquon. Imagine having Josh Jacobs. Imagine having like a Derrick Henry, right? next to James Conner. I just don't think it's going to happen. I personally don't think it's going to happen. So, yeah, I think the Cardinals need to focus on free agency on the defense in the trenches, specifically edge, cornerback, and maybe a guard on the offensive line. That's what I'm thinking here for the Cardinals. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But we're going to close up shop here, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you guys for tuning in as always. We're going to close up shop here. I just wanted to get a gauge and how you guys are feeling. We got the combine coming our way. We got a lot of videos coming your way as well. We got the long form content, which is the live streams. We got the videos, and then we got the shorts uploading as well. So, all right, y'all. We're going to be closing up shop here. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Big shout out to the people that are currently in the chat. Thank you so very much for staying true and being a Cardinal fan. Thank you all. Have a great rest of your day. Go Cards.